I want to do an update on my project of working, doing a canopy change in about 200 trees. We started to decapitate and cut the trees in August, late August, the fourth week of August. Now we are in February 2nd. Last week we started grafting. I'm not going to put the details of the grafting because I have very detailed videos on my channel that tell you what the process is. But what we learned from what I have done so far is that you have to even cut the trees earlier. I had done this before in August and I had no problems, the trees growing back. But this time, I guess because we had a couple of periods during our winter that was very cold, it got into the mid 30s. The trees kind of slowed down too much, and a lot of trees either don't have enough water shoots or have not come back at all. So that is a big mistake. What I learned from this is that you better cut and do the hacking and the decapitation early, even though it may have too much, but it's better to have a lot of water shoots to choose from than not enough. Like I think right now I have like maybe 20% of the trees that we were not be able to graft because nothing half grown or not enough. The beauty of it is I think they are not being lost. Eventually, as soon as it warms up a little bit more, they are going to come back. And always there is a number that may not come back at all, and then we'll remove those. Something I want to show the people that are going to be doing canopy change is something very important. Why do we focus on this week of last week in January, first week in February? Is because the budwood is at the optimal condition. If you have the budwood at the optimal condition and you have your water shoot nice quarter of an inch, half an inch, you can almost guarantee success, because the more energy the budwood has, the more likely it is to stick and to grow very quickly. If the budwood is not on the right, and I will show you now what I consider the right wood, is when the flower buds are just ready to come out in like 10 days. You know, that period of time that the tree starts to, the buds start to swell in order to come up with a flower, that is the ideal time. If you do it at the right time, it's really good, high rate of success. But what happened here is that I should have cut them a little bit earlier, not to have as many trees that don't have anything to graft on. This is the optimal budwood for top working. You see that there's even side buds, several, and then one right on top, ready to bloom in 5, 6, 7, 10 days or less. This is going to bloom. This will be, in my opinion, the ideal. And I'm going to show you now why this is so good, because sometimes they just take off after 10 days and you know you have a good graft. This is another good piece. It's a lot of energy going into that flower bud. This is even better. It's a little behind the last one that we looked at, but it's ready to explode. It contains a lot of energy, ready to grow. I just want to show you the importance of having the budwood at the right time and the water shoots the right size. This tree was done by me. The other ones that I show you, that the budwood has no parafilm, plain, without anything, those were done by a professional crew that I had to hire. I couldn't do as many by myself. But this I have an interest in, and I grafted it myself. And you will see that we have using parafilm. This tree was grafted on January 11. Today's February 2nd, about 20 days more or less, and you can see it's breaking through the parafilm, ready to grow. This will be like this in another couple of weeks. So it's very important to have the budwood in the right condition. And The bad thing is that does not happen according to the variety for more than a period of maybe 10, 15 days. So there is a rush to graft these things at the time that we have the correct budwood. I want to show you this because just to put emphasis on the fact that timing is everything. It's not, grafting is not about the mechanical. Yes, the mechanical part of it, the cut, the sanitation, all that is good and fine. But the condition of the budwood and the energy of the tree, that combination, that's what it's all about. This tree was grafted just like a week ago on January 24. Today is again the 2nd. So it's like 6, 7, 8 days ago. And I'm going to show you now the tree that this came from, which is just like a few feet away from here. The tree is ready to flower. It's opening flowers as we speak, 7 days later. So that's how much energy this budwood has. Now I show you the grafts. 4 of them, they're all breaking the parafilm and moving. So that's the importance of the energy and the timing. Lessons learned. Next year, I'm going to start preparing the trees like the last week of July, the first week of August, and hopefully that happened this year, that a lot of the trees did not come back, will be prevented. So we learn from our mistakes.